Now there's a part of me that hopes to find a cheap case that rivals some of the more expensive ones. Who doesn't love a good underdog story? Is the NanoPop Mag series one of those cases? Let's find out! When it comes to design and build quality, this is a fairly good looking case. I am a big fan of this blueberry navy combination, and if you don't, well, you've got 3 other choices to choose from. Now this is basically a TPU case. There's a lot of flex to it. This orange piece has a bit of give to it. You can kind of see my fingernail indentations. Now the average case usually follows the shape of the iPhone. The iPhone is very, very boxy, but with Caseology, the case edges are a lot more rounded. It feels different in a good way. When it comes to build quality, I did notice this massive seam along the edge of the case, along one side. I don't know if that's a one-off or not, but well-made products do not have these really big seams. Now when it comes to weight, this thing weighs 44.2 grams, which is slightly lower than the average of 45.4. And it's going to make your iPhone heavier by about 20%. This thing is 12 millimeters thick, so it's only going to make your iPhone feel 45.5% thicker. This is a thin, lightweight case, and that's a bad thing because it just makes this entire product feel cheap. Now when it comes to usability and the MagSafe, this thing has some decent grip strips. I actually really like the grip strips on this product. The little dots are very, very subtle, so they're not very abrasive on my hands. But the rest of the case is incredibly slick. Like this back, it's almost as smooth as my screen protector. This case has built-in buttons, which get the job done. Response isn't bad, but doesn't come close to flow-through buttons. The screen edges are incredibly low for this case, so going from left to right while you swipe on your dating app isn't going to be an issue. And thank goodness there is a lanyard attachment point as well. The more iPhone cases I've tested, the more annoyed I get with the camera cutout, especially when they're asymmetrical. Like the camera button itself is very, very centered on the iPhone, but with this Caseology NanoPop, you can tell that this edge is much lower than the front edge, and so when you're pushing it, it just feels incredibly odd. I gotta mention it, I'm a reviewer. And when it comes to MagSafe strength, it took about 5.3 newtons to pull a MagSafe wallet off, with the average being around 7.5, and 7.1 newtons to push MagSafe wallet off the back of this case, with the average being around 9. MagSafe accessories rotate incredibly easily, so generally, accessories are going to come off very easily with this Caseology NanoPop. On to protection. Now this case has a corner thickness of about 1.7 mils, which is slightly smaller than average. When it comes to drops, it does a poor job of absorbing the initial impact. The subsequent force also gets absorbed by the iPhone rather than the case. Overall, it's like nothing is there when it comes to impact protection for your iPhone, which is not a good thing. When it comes to screen protection, oh, that sounds terrible. That sounded mostly screen protector. It takes about 41 newtons to remove the corner off this case, which is really, really low. And the screen clearance is about 0.6 millimeters. So with the screen protector, you barely have any sort of clearance between the flat surface and your iPhone. Like I can push the iPhone through the case, which is terrible, which makes it even, what makes it even worse is, angry. The case edges are incredibly loose. So protection-wise, this thing is just a dumpster fire. Now the listed price for this product is $35, with the average being around 48. So yeah, cheap, great, right? Not really, because you're getting below average handling and you're getting way below average protection, and this thing's gonna look terrible after you use it for a week. Like I didn't even try to scratch this case. It's just, this thing wears so terribly. I'm on a mission to figure out what the best iPhone cases are. So if you haven't seen my stuff before, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see my recommended products, do check out my top 5 video. I also got a playlist with the 10 recommended products that I would personally use if I wasn't a reviewer. That's kind of all I got. Thanks for watching.